Hello, welcome to Work Hard, Dream Harder. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Tia, and we're just two best friends waffling about life and trying to survive until we're 30.
We just wanted to discuss, because last time we talked about how mental health is not linear, it's a wave.
Yeah, and it's like your mental health isn't always positive or always negative. It just kind of moves around. And so we're both doing waves with our hands.
Oh, for the audio listeners.
Yeah, we're just doing little waves with our hands. But on that, there's like a massive issue of like toxic positivity. So when people think of mental health, they think that you need to always be happy, and that means your mental health is doing well. And actually that isn't the healthiest way to look at it, because if you're always expecting yourself to be happy, if you're always happy, and you never experience the negative emotions or the negative states of mental health, you can't fully appreciate the happiness. And also the nature of being human just doesn't allow that. Yeah.
And so I was talking to Tia about like how I was journaling as like I was having a crisis when I turned 25. So then I took time to journal, and sometimes that helps you put into perspective that the good days and bad days are intermingled, because we forget the good days. Our brain tends to fixate on the bad days, right? And journaling just helps you, remind you of your achievements of your past, because if I didn't write them down, it's like if you didn't take a picture of it, it didn't happen. That's what my mind does. And what I realised that you don't have to be consistent. So what I do is I have numbered stickers. So what I do is just stick those stickers on the days I missed, and just put...
You have like a bullet journal, don't you?
Yeah, a bullet journal. But I put these stickers on, and it reminds me that, oh, it's okay that I missed a week. It's just like put some stickers on it. Life's good.
That's quite good actually, because then, do you know, if you have like the pre-dated ones and you miss a day, then you miss out on a few pages, don't you?
No, I like to make it a little bit artsy. Like I got stickers and pens, and they give, like, if I wanted to do 3 pages, I have the luxury of doing 3 pages, or I just have a luxury of doing 4 sentences if I really wanted to, or just write, I watch Supernatural I'm on the 5th season, and I do stuff like that. It doesn't have to be emotionally driven. It's just like, oh my god, I can't believe they killed this character off. And then, oh my god, you can see my journal, the evolution of our podcast. Like, the thumbnails that I've done, I stuck them in there. So I think what I do, I combine it. The way I journal is emotional, but a media journal. It's just about what I'm feeling and what I want to remember. So if I didn't want to write an emotion, I just do a smiley face, sad face, but it's not putting pressure on you, but then a good outlet to look back. So yeah. And I just feel like don't put pressure on being consistent, because once it's a chore, then you're more likely to do it. And also just write notes on your phone and then put them in there. Just have a record of, this made me feel shit today because they killed my favourite character off. But, you just put it in there. And I think less pressure, even if you just rate it 5 stars or,
Just something.
Less pressure.
Yeah, well, on that, like, a lot of people do put pressure on themselves, because journaling is a very good outlet. Journaling is a very good way of kind of getting your emotions on some paper and not bottling it up. And I've always struggled with that. I have like an atrocious memory. I think everyone in my life can vouch for that. So I kept wanting to start journaling up, and I just kept forgetting. And I'd find my journal 3 months later, and I've only done like 2 pages. And it made me feel like rubbish, because I had vowed to myself that I was going to keep up with this. And I think I was saying to you before, when I was going through like a really bad mental health patch a few years ago, I wanted to kind of track it and see what was going on and see what was happening. And I kept just getting myself down in the dumps because I wasn't keeping up with journalism. Journalism?
Journaling.
I was having a career change with journaling. And I ended up going for, like, I had like one of those bullet journals with like the checkered paper, and I basically like drew a graph of the entire year. You can also print them off, but I didn't have a printer at the time, so I just drew it out, and each little box indicated a day.
In bullet journaling, it's called a year in pixels or something. So if you Google that, it's like a bullet journaling thing, and I think it's a year in pixels, which is the same concept as that.
Okay.
So it's like a tracker of some sort. So it's like that emotion thing you're on about, but like in the bullet journaling girlies call it a year in pixels.
See, I didn't know the name, but I just like each little square was a day.
Yeah.
And at the end of that day, or even at the end of the week, I'd backfill it just whenever I could be bothered. And it meant I didn't have that pressure on myself. I had like a little chart on the side, and each day, each emotion was a colour. So I think like blue was feeling depressed, and yellow was happy. I think green was content. Purple was ecstatic. Red was angry. There was some other emotions on there as well, but I can't remember what the colours were. And at the end of that day, or whenever I could fill it out, I would just colour in that day, that day with the emotion that I majoritarily felt. Now, if I was feeling like a nice mixture of emotions, I'd colour it multiple colours, but most of the time you can kind of pinpoint one emotion that you felt most of the day, or maybe two emotions. And when I was having like a really bad mental health patch, obviously 80% of the colours were probably blue, dark blue. And that meant I wasn't feeling too great. And after a little while, I was trying to make changes to improve my life and start going to like therapy and stuff like that. And it went from like 90% blue to like 70% blue. And to a lot of people, that would still be like, that's not good enough. But that was like, I'm improving, I'm doing better. And I don't do it anymore, but when I was kind of like really doing better mental health wise, it became a mixture of colours. It was never fully happy. It was never always yellow. It was a mixture of yellow and red and blue and purple and a mixture of everything. And that meant I was doing good.
Yes.
Like you said, it isn't consistent, and you don't need this toxic positivity because your mental health is going to go up and down and all around, and it does that.
But I think when the well-being industry became influent, one of those words, when it became popular, basically, it's more of the aesthetifies things like, oh, go have a bubble bath, this and that, but yeah,
it does help.
At the moment, yeah, okay, it's nice to relax. But if you're not getting the core emotion out, if you're not figuring out what is causing it, because I find helpful with writing a little sentence.
Yeah.
It's helps put correlation. So it's like when I do my journal, I don't put a pressure on how much I write because it's not a dated journal. It's free flow because it's like a bullet
Whenever
journal.
you want to, yeah.
Yeah, so I can put 1 to 2 words in, but I realised that it's like rejections made me upset, or like things just didn't happen the way I
Segue into an old episode.
So it helped me understand that what can I fix now that'll make it better, right? So for example, if I'm putting too much time stressing about what other people think, when I could be thinking about they don't really care, it's changing your perspective. And a journal with a few words help understand. So with your emotional thing, if you put each day,
that's what. So I ended up progressing. So when I kept moving house, I've moved house a lot over the last few years, and I lost my year in pixels, I guess it's called. I lost it. So my next thing, instead of making it all again, kind of couldn't be bothered, which fair enough. Notes page on my phone. Me and my mate joked about keeping a cry diary. It wasn't quite the same. And every time we cried or felt some overwhelming emotion, we just called it cry diary, but it had loads of stuff in there. Quickly go on my phone, write down what made me feel like that. And when I was going through another rough patch, I realised 2 things kept always popping up. And one was a toxic person in my life, and one was my job at the time. And after I think 5 months of consistently, 90% of the time, it'd be one of these things. Sometimes I was an outlier, like a film made me cry or something. But just a quick sentence, or even just that person's name as to why I cried, whatever I could be bothered to do. And it made me realise the correlation of why I was feeling like that. So, no, yeah, I completely agree.
And also, there's a lot of different ways of journaling. Like,
So
the
many.
journaling girlies are in it and they take it shit seriously. And then sometimes art therapy is a good way to express yourself as well. That I've done a few workshops with like art therapy, and that's good because sometimes you just need to do some random doodles to get it out there. And maybe when we get into journaling ourselves, like proper journaling girlies, maybe we'll do a video kind of doing it, where it is hard, and if you don't put that pressure, just don't be inconsistent. And one key takeaway I've learned: you need to be sad to appreciate happiness. Emotion, it links. So if you're always happy, you don't appreciate. Sometimes you just need to be sad for the sake of being sad, and that's okay. You just gotta feel those emotions.
You're a human at the end of the day.
You're not a robot.
I mean, sometimes you could be on paper having the best day in the world and you just feel like rubbish. And it's not great if you feel like that all the time. But every so often, like, that is completely natural and that is okay. But also, even if your life, again, on paper is perfect and you should always be happy, do not discard what you're feeling. Do not let others discard what you're feeling.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you are your own person and you know what it's. Yeah, mental health is mental, but sometimes it's like, what annoys me is somebody breaks their arm, right? You can physically see something's not right because it's mental and you only know. People tend to take that shit not seriously. There's like jokes that, oh, you're taking a mental health day, but not realising that you can learn, like, legit.
Like, my brain is broken.
Legit, and it leads out to burnout. If you don't sort out your feelings, your brain just shuts down and you end up in burnout, and that's a whole nother
Oh, yeah,
shit.
burnout's a whole other episode.
And I think, fuck it, like, if you need a day just to understand your emotion, journal the heck out, understand your brain. The more times you understand your emotions, it helps you, because your body sends messages and sometimes you just ignore them.
I might do my year in pixels again. That might be quite intriguing.
So maybe we should do an episode of journaling techniques and see which ones we vibe with, because there's a lot of you've got your art journals, the bullet journals,
maybe this could be a video.
Yeah.
So
if
let us know, guys. Yeah.
If you did journalings, what type of journalings?
Yeah. What type of like journaling techniques do you recommend we should try?
Yeah,
Because maybe it'd be something good for us both to get back into.
Yeah. Still doing it.
Yeah. Well, for me to get back into. But like, drop a comment or drop us a message, like with any ideas that you have.
Yeah. Well, that's been us. I don't know why we did that at the same time. We're coming to the end of the episode. Thank you for listening. Like we say, work hard, but dream even harder.